Hey all, today is the last day of the year, and really a fantastic year, 2024 for Bulls and for the team and for me. Really enjoyed all the dips and all the rallies and everything. But just before I go on vacation, I just wanted to kind of record an update on overall, where we are in the market, both long term, short term, as I may not be posting for next 6 7 days. Right, so just wanted to capture the overall thoughts and just share my perspective of what I will be looking at in the next year, of course, in the week's time frame, and of course, in the first week as well, like a really short time frame there, right? So I just kind of started posting this chart of monthly for SPX, where I just said that okay, we are moving up, we are moving higher. Possibly we'll do some of that in 2025 as well. So I'm not taking a uber bearish stand as of now. But at certain point, and I don't exactly have the month or a time frame in mind, but a certain idea which I'm gonna get into later on, that a top will be accomplished, and it'll be a major top, right? Um, from there on, a correction will start, and potentially it's gonna take a long time. It may not be like as long as it looks like here, because don't go with the time frame. Going with that, but just thinking from the time it took here, from 1929 to 32, like 3 years, right? So maybe 3 years, maybe a little longer than that, but yeah, it'll be a painful time. Right, a wave four, as we know, takes a lot of time. If you just look into this wave four, which was just in Terem, it went for 8 years, right? Whether this will complete in 3 4 years or more than that, being sharp like this the how sharp this was, or whether this will be very slow next 8 9 years after the top is accomplished, right? I don't know that yet. I mean, we'll look into it when it comes, but it's not gonna be an easy ride. Uh, when we make that top. So hopefully, we have time, to kind of take those last highs into maybe 6,500, 7,000 or whatnot, right? 6,600, somewhere around there. And then, kind of mark it as a completion of, this long term rally, which has been going since the, last recession. So from 2009, we have made progress from 672, may probably into maybe let's say 6,600, 6,700. That's almost 10x, right? From that 10x, we are looking at a retracement coming back, and the there are key levels which we'll certainly look into when the time comes. Again, this is very long term, and I'll be looking at levels like this, which is very deep. Hopefully, it doesn't get that bad. But somewhere in the COVID time frame, 2200 or so is something which certainly can be achieved if it takes this path, and slowly just kind of rolls down into this support area, right? That's a very long term picture, not happening tomorrow, but just something to keep in mind as you're accumulating stocks in the portfolio, your 401ks and all that, that things as they looked for the last 15 years, they may not be same. They were not same here between 2000 to 2008, right? If you were a buyer in 2000, not not necessarily it gave you any return until it reached somewhere in 2013. So 13 years, if you're a SPY buyer or accumulating SPY, you didn't had much gains, right? And that potentially will become a case if you keep buying and you're just kind of all get wiped out, and then it starts going up. It'll be years before all of the accumulation from here from the breakout of 16 till wherever it tops in 2026 or 2025, and then coming back down all the way into year 30, or maybe all those years your returns will be pretty kind of not much. And then there would be again a multi-decade rally after that for that wave file, like we have been having, right? So, but again, this is just a longer term picture. As the valuations of these Mag 7 stocks are running into multi trillions, buying new stocks at those stock prices is just crazy, right? And while I've been scalping or buying and selling quickly, I do not intend to buy at these prices for a long term hold, right? Not unless I see at least 30-40% shaved off from the prices. What will cause it, I don't know. They could be multiple things. Could be financial, geopolitical, related to debt, related to administration. I don't know. I don't care. But what I know is that the risk as it's heading higher into those levels, into 6600s or 6500s, whenever it does, and we'll get into it in a shorter bit. The risk of keeping those longs for even further higher is just gonna be very high, right? So something to keep in mind, something to just have in the back of your mind as you think about your larger term portfolio, that you want to kind of have some risk awareness of something like this happening, right? And it doesn't happen overnight. Overnight, you might see a drop of 2%, 3%, and there bounces, and we'll keep talking about it as it starts and all that kind of stuff. But this is just a larger term view. Now, just coming through and zooming in here, as you see, I mean, after this wave four, we started this multi year rally from March of 2009, and we're still going. And we have this as marked as this last wave five, right? And potentially we are looking at this to continue a little bit. We may have a dip. We have one dip going on. Maybe there will be one more dip, and something like this, probably just a high level, right? Maybe another high, a little dip, and keep going up, right? So once we get close to this area, 67, 6800, something like that, we'll calculate that once we get this dip, that how further we can go, right? And I think that would be it. Now, will it take the whole 2025 for that? Potentially, it can, at least most of it, right? But in the Q1, Q2 time frame, there will be some volatility. There will be some dips before that sort of rally really happens, right? So to look into it, let's just go into a weekly level here, or a weekly chart here, right? So what we have been looking into right now is that this dip right now, which I explained in my previous video, is like a small sub 4 sort of a dip, which can end somewhere in this range, in this particular demand that we have, right? And there was an open gap and all that, when we look into it, when we zoom in into the daily charts and all that. But somewhere in this demand, this dip will finish. So today close was 5,881, and I have 5,785 marked as a level where the gap closes. And from there we can see one more push up immediately, taking it to probably into 6200 or close to 6200, right? So that's what I'm thinking. But once that is done, I think these last five waves will be over as well. And once these are over, we are looking to get back into either again, this range somewhere here, 5300, and I've talked about it, or somewhere here, right? 5250 or something like that, right? So this dip will come somewhere around this. Let's just see where the support of this whole trend is. Quite close, right? So somewhere here, or maybe a little deeper, right? So we'll get this particular dip, and then a rally again further towards the end of the year. So probably this is pretty short term. If I just zoom in next into it on a daily chart, right, and what we are really looking here is that this particular gap here, right, this gets closed at 57831, 5785, whatever that number is right now, right. So just close this gap right here, and then the bounce can start from just right from here. So this on a smaller scale, when I look into it, so this particular open gap and this particular demand plays an important role here, right? So as long as this holds, we have one more high, and this is kind of the last wave that we are looking at, right? That's in the progress, right? So once this is done, like I said, I mean, we are looking for another big retracement to happen after these five waves are completed, and that could get us to somewhere around in this area. And if I just measure that, you know, the dip just from like hypothetically, if we go to uh, 6200, a kind of 38% dip is 5300, and let's just see where 23% is somewhere in this area, right? So uh, we'll see. It'll be like dipping here, bouncing, and dipping another further few points. But 5300, 5400 around this area sounds like a perfect dip, which should come somewhere in the Q1 time frame, right? Uh, so immediate support here, 5785, like I said, in this demand zone. Bounce from here, make this fifth wave. Probably can it do it before inauguration or maybe during inauguration or somewhere in that time frame when Trump takes office? Yeah, probably. I mean, highly likely it can do that. It can push through that, and post that we can start looking at the declines after that, right? And once we hit this bottom here, a rally upwards, right? So that's what I'm looking at in the Q1 time frame. That okay, we kind of hit the lows, go one more up, then dip down, and then one for last rally for the rest of the year after maybe Q1 April or so time frame. Keep just moving on upwards, right? And once that completes, that's where I think the end will be, right? For the long term, which I talked about, that fifth wave, 6800, 7000, maybe an overshoot of that, some of somewhere around that number, or 6600 or so, right? So we'll figure that out. But as this dip happens, and as it holds this support when it comes, I think that's in itself is a very tremendous opportunity in terms of coming from 53, 5400 to 6600. That's like 1200 points. So 2025 will provide an excellent opportunity for at least 3 quarters to just go up into those higher levels, and that's an opportunity that we will be looking to tap into uh, you know in the coming year, right? Along with, of course, coming tapping some portion of it. Wave fours itself, which are these dips, they get to be very complex. I mean, I've drawn a straight line here, but they're never a straight line. Wave fours can take any formation. They probably sometimes they don't even have to come this down if they're a triangle. If they are a triangle, so triangle can be simply something like this, right? And it goes up, right? So that can happen as well, depending upon what are the macroeconomic conditions and what is really happening, and what can cause the dip and what is really the driver and all that kind of stuff. But triangle can be as small, or you can have. Something like a flat where you dip here, you make a double top, and then you drop again, right? Or something else, right? So expanded flat, regular flat, there are like many things which comes out. But looking for some sort of a correction here, right? And what kind of it forms, we'll just get into it as it starts. You can't predict it really in advance, but levels I'm looking at is somewhere around this, right? Now, just going into even a smaller time frame and talking about, you know, just from the next, trading day perspective on Thursday. Uh, Today was like a very weird price action. Of course, it's wave four. I don't expect a lot more from that. I mean, what we were looking at today all day was that, okay, so we, if this was, let's say, my A wave, and this was B and this is C, right? So we were looking at just A, B, and C, or something of a one, two, and a formation or something like that. But we did not get the bounce that I was looking at. It just kept kind of chopping, right? So my idea was that it could be a WXY going on here, where we had this as an A, B, and then a C wave drop, right? A W, and ABC as an X. Let me just mark it here. So W, X, and Y, and these are all three waves, right? So we can simply mark it as A, B, and C, and then we had an A, B, and C, and then we are looking at another A, B, and C formation. So I was looking at a little higher bounce here into 5980, but I kind of didn't get it. All they just kept chopping and chopping and chopping towards the low. Either the B finished here, or the B will come again. I mean, coming on Thursday, we will get a rally back up somewhere here, and then there will be a dip post that, right? So again, coming down to the 5785, closing this gap like I was explaining before, marking this as a wave 4, and this is where I would want to buy some swings, basically. I mean, other than doing this in between, I'm just kind of trying to scalp these chops, right? If you get it right, you get it right. If you don't, then you kind of get stuck with this chop and the premium burn and all that kind of stuff. But when I look into swinging something, I would be looking to swing somewhere from this area, or the other swing I can still do is if I get a short opportunity here at 5980, which I was explaining in the previous video as well. I don't want to short, here in this area. It needs to be somewhere 5980, 6000 area, so that I understand my stop losses are close by, right? And either I buy here, right? So this is my ideal dip buy plan if this gets into it. And in my post, I've also explained that the other way, if this wave 4 was complete, already, and we are just kind of doing an ABC here, right? Like this ABC was there, another ABC dip was here, and if this starts going and closing these gaps up, then it's a separate discussion altogether. Then we are looking at this becoming a leading diagonal sort of a thing. Again, getting to that 6200 mark, but making no more lows and making a mix of ABC with the a fourth wave overlapping into the first wave and all that kind of stuff, right? So ending diagonal here, and the post that the decline will start, right? So come Thursday, what we would want to see is that if there is a sell off, taking it all the way down, like breaking these lows, and breaking these lows, and the action is like something like this. Yeah, you keep dragging it all the way down, and then this is where I would like to buy, right? If this does not happen, it kind of keeps going up, or just hold these lows. I think this will have a squeeze, and close the gap. Come just right here, and then see what happens. Right? I do not expect if it should cross above this, and go this high. That's a little too high at this point of time. It could have gone there before when it was just didn't do a double bottom here like it did, and I think this would be sufficient. And then if it resists there, creates a reversal structure, then I know that this was a flat A, B, and C, and now I'm just looking at another dip similar to what happened here. So that can happen from Friday to early next week, and then like I said, rally after, right? So this is what I'm looking at, either to buy here or short here, or if this starts going up and starts closing, then catch some long here to a new high, right? So again, look at where we can enter there. It's always hard to chase if the move is already on and it does not really give you a place to enter with a nice risk reward. But yeah, certainly still can be done as long as it breaks and hold 80 and then just crosses over. Then certainly we are looking at from that 5980 mark to 6100, maybe make a slightly higher before then again another dip and then keep going up and all that kind of stuff, right? So still there will be some opportunity to do it, but not as great as it if it comes here into 5785 and you're able to tap into it and it kind of reverses. Then we have almost 400 points to capture, which is brilliant. Right, so you just add up into either the long-term ETFs like SPX or so, or UPRO, right, and you just let it rip, or maybe some long-term options if you like. Right, so that's my overall thoughts and plan on SPX. QQQ is similar. I don't want to spend more time in getting into a very long term chart of that, but some similar thoughts will be there for QQQ as this rally completes into fifth wave and we get this dip and you know we get this dip and finally complete this move, right, somewhere here, and then it goes into a big long-term correction after that, right? So that's kind of a monthly view. We'll get to that when the time comes. That was just kind of giving you an idea of what I'm thinking for the coming time and all that stuff. But looking at daily and what's going on right now. We talked about 500 being an area where we want to get the dip buy in, as similar to the 5785, which I talked about for SPX, right? And what we're looking to do is that we have this nice 1 2, and we're looking at 3 4, and just doing another fifth wave, right? So come here and or somewhere below 500. Could be a few points, right? Could be a little bit below, but right here I think it's a great spot. I'll start adding into my longs suddenly as it gets close to 502, 503 or so, and from there suddenly look for that fifth wave move. If it starts going below here, which is 484, it's definitely a very big red flag that there is no more move up. Though if you want to keep a very strict stop loss, I would suggest keep 493 as a strict stop loss to see what happens, right? That's only barely 7 points, which is a decent stop loss for those long-term swings. And because you're looking from here, you're looking at a rally into like 50 points, so it's a very good risk reward for the longs when you long into this area, and you start looking into this as a stop loss from kind of Fibonacci perspective. If you look into it, 502 is a sweet spot of 38%. If I just look into 50% again, you see that 493, 492 marks come very, very close, and anything below that is too deep for a wave 4, right? So, like I said, buy it 500 or close to 500. Stop loss you can keep close below let's say 491, right? It's a 50% measured move, and that is something which can be used as stop loss for a 10-point stop loss, let's just say, for a 50-point rally, right? A very decent point, and from the risk reward standpoint, right? So that's QQQ, and once this is done with this fifth wave, like I said, there will be a retracement. That the retracement can be back to somewhere here, 447, or lower. We'll figure that out as it starts, but for now let's just focus on getting this particular move into the bank, right? Well, that's about it. That kind of covers up my thoughts on SPX and QQQ. Let's just quickly cover a Bitcoin as well, as we have been tracking it very closely, right? And what all I'm looking at right now is that this wave to complete. It's again a wave four going on here. Right now, this is a big demand zone here. It's just hovering above it. Tried to break out today, failed. Right, it's a C leg, and if I'm looking at a B, and C as a measured move, C equals to A happens only at 84,000 or 84K, right? And but Bitcoin has been reluctant. I mean, I was thinking that there would be a quick liquidity event, and it will just push down, and we'll have that. Probably it will happen. I started some Bitcoin longs here, and I'm ready to add if it touches that 86, 84K mark. It'll be very sharp probably if that happens. So I don't know when that happens and if I'll be able to buy or not. So as it dips towards 84K, 86K, I plan to keep adding into it. And again, the idea is that we will have a good rally for this fifth wave, taking this into somewhere into 115 or 116K, right? So that's what we're looking at. And certainly want to capture that portion of it. If it starts trading below 84 or 80, 85, it is, right? So it starts trading below 85K, then there is a problem, right? Then it's not a wave four as we are imagining it. It should not start breaking this particular candle right here. It should, if it wants to sweep it and reverse, that's fine, but it should not start closing below this range. Right? And quickly covering on coin, which I really like in this area. From the count perspective, it looks like the five wave drop is completing, and when I go into 4-hour chart, there's a lot of divergence happening here. I can simply count the five waves of each of this drop, which is pretty clean. So if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave one, right, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave three, and we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it looks like it's almost at the completion. Maybe it'll just do a sweep of 242 once if it wants to, if Bitcoin dip a little bit. But again, the point is, if Bitcoin dips that low to 86K, it happens over the weekend, it recovers. Maybe coin does not react that much, but if it happens over the trading or the cash session, I don't know how coin is going to react at the point. Will it be holding this, or will it try to do something different? But from the count perspective and the way it's showing the divergence, it looks like the bottom is closed, and it'll be confirmed to be closed when we start trading above these highs. Right, so once it starts trading above 264, yeah, the bottom for this wave is certainly in, and I'm looking at if Bitcoin starts rallying towards that 115K, then I'm looking at 373 here as well. And you see all of these matches. You have SPX, QQQ logging a bottom in the numbers that I talked about. And then you have Bitcoin logging the bottom there, and then you have coin, of course, around the similar path, right? So kind of feels like a good alignment here, that all of these are close to the bottom, and uh, uh, you know close to the bottom, and think we will have a very good rally after maybe the first week of Jan or so, right? So that's what I'm looking at. I shared all my levels and thoughts around that. I'll be traveling. I'll be back on January 7th. I'll be trading for maybe an hour in the morning session just to give the details to the team. My Substack post will be on time. There'll be no change on that, and I'll be sending one tomorrow to capture these details. But I just wanted to have this video for you all as a thank you, and then wishing you all a very happy New Year. And I really appreciate the support that I've been getting on Twitter and in my community. And we all learn and we grow and we make mistakes and all that kind of stuff. But New Year is new. Let's make 2025 a great year. And I wish you all the best. Have fun. Thank you very much.